Good evening, everyone. A big announcement in Paducah, Kentucky today. Federal and state leaders say a new massive data center is planned, an investment to the tune of billions of dollars. Blake Showalter has more details.
Government officials are calling this a once-in-a-generational opportunity for Kentucky as they begin to turn this facility behind me into a multi-billion-dollar data center.
We believe in the country, we believe in energy addition, and why not right here in Western Kentucky? Incredible community with an incredible future.
U.S. Secretary of Energy Chris Winters says the state's economic future is now tied to artificial intelligence. On Wednesday, the Department of Energy announced Paducah has been selected for a new $100 billion privately funded AI data center.
A place that once helped America win the Cold War will now help America win the AI race.
According to officials, that makes the new data center one of the largest investments in Kentucky history.
It's hard to imagine a finite demand for the power of artificial intelligence, but the power infrastructure is going to be built. It'll be here no matter what. But I think it's hard to overstate the positive impacts of artificial intelligence, which is why we see so much capital going into it.
Winters says the facility will use modern gas-powered turbines, generating a surplus of energy at cooler temperatures, with the excess power flowing back into the community to help lower electric bills for families and businesses across the region.
2 gigawatts of new power is going to be developed. Only 1.2 gigawatts will be consumed by the data center, so 800 megawatts of surplus power for the community and other businesses.
I asked Secretary Winters how the people who do not want a data center in their community should feel about the new development.
First of all, data centers, there's a big scare campaign about them right now. They're not for every community. You don't have to have a data center everywhere. But if you push a data center out of your community and it goes somewhere else, that new power generation is going to go somewhere else.
But Secretary Winters says the facility will use a new closed-loop system designed to contain and limit overall water usage.
The water consumption will be equal to a McDonald's. So very little water consumption, massive tax revenue generation, and a lot of spin-off businesses will come around it.
Officials say this project will have major benefits for the economy, with over 8,000 construction jobs for the development of this data center. And then after it's completed, there should be around 600 full-time employees working inside. In Paducah, Blake Showalter, Heartland News.
Officials say local folks will not pay for any of the energy used by the new data center. According to them, it'll be paid for by its clients.